Hi everyone, this is Tuplex. Welcome back. So, my hydrogen tanks are full again. And the hydrogen is backing up. I had been thinking about using infinite storage, infinite gas storage, but I don't know. I don't know that I really want to do that. I think at this point, I'm just going to set up some hydrogen generators to start burning some of this off. Whoops. Let's see. Those take up 4 tiles, so I won't be able to fit them exactly where the coal generators are. But I wouldn't mind taking out a couple of these coal generators. Let's see. Are those switched off? Yeah, these are not even... Oh, okay, no, these are feeding the grid. They're not feeding over here. Yeah, so let's... whoops. Sorry. Let's do that. Let's get rid of these coal generators here, and I'll replace them with hydrogen generators, and we'll use those to burn off some of that excess hydrogen. And I'll prioritize those over the petroleum generators. Okay, and I will feed them from here. And that way they'll just come from these 2 reservoirs, and they won't... Yeah, it won't touch anything that I've got stored up down here. It'll only affect this, so that way we won't use too much. Alright, so my petroleum batteries I have set with a minimum of 60, so these I will set to a low threshold of 70, so that these will kick in before the petroleum does. And then my coal generators are set to 40, so that's the last line of defense. And I've also got quite a bit of solar power coming in right now, so even these won't get used all that much. In fact, if we look at our last report, we can see that we overproduced on solar by almost 800 kilojoules. Okay, great. And then because of that, I'm going to reduce the oil flow on my petroleum generator even more. Our storage tanks are starting to fill up here. We're working on the 4th one right now, so if we're going to keep it running continuously, then I want to make sure that these tanks don't fill up. Okay. On the shovels, I have now let's see, there's 14 hatched, 24 critters, it says. Yeah, so there's, well, some of these have already laid eggs. I'm not sure how many, but in any case, I think I have enough shovels in here just to do starvation ranching on these guys without having to have a breeder set up. All right, let's check skill points and see if we need anybody else to level up at this point. We can enable our astronauts. Actually, let's get them all the way up to rocket suit wearing, or rocket navigation. That'll make the trips faster. What else can we put Latifa on? Operating, I guess. Okay, same for our rancher. Let's just give him more points in operating once everything else is taken care of. We'll give him super hard digging since he likes to dig. And then tinkering. MCA I think is already, yeah, we'll leave him alone. We've got pretty good morale here, so. Okay. Oh, and then we'll give them the rocket navigation hats. Alright, cool. So everybody's going to skill up a little bit. Speaking of morale, I created a couple of natural tiles down here. Whoops. So I was able to expand this area a bit and get a couple more plants, so it's now a nature reserve, which gives me +6 morale instead of +3 that we had before. I just did that little trick where you build some insulated tiles and build a door inside of it, and then deconstruct the door, and then you're left with a tile of whatever metal you used to make the door. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 plants in there now. So that gives us the full bonus, which is nice. Now that I have all these shovels, I think I can start... or stop, let's say I can stop reproducing hatches. And then we'll just let them dwindle in their numbers from old age. This one's actually, I've only got 1 in there. I've only got 4 in there, so... and that way that'll reduce some of the work that we need to do ranching. Because this will take almost a full-time rancher just to groom all these voles in there. And then, once these guys are gone, I'm thinking we could use this area to make some nice bedrooms for the dupes. With comfy beds, individual rooms. We'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll have 6, essentially 6 floors. And I have more space too, so that shouldn't be a problem. I am incubating the shovel eggs. Here, let's help him evolve a little bit faster. I think I should put a carbon skimmer down here, since that's where the CO2 seems to want to collect. I'm not going to take water from my heating line. Let's see. Okay, so it should come from here. Gosh, this is a mess, isn't it? Alright. I think I can get water out of that. Actually cancel that. It'll be easier if I come over this way. What is this for? That's for nothing. Oh, well that was clean water. Okay, yeah, that's coming from my water supply over there. We could use that. That seems like a fine idea, actually. It's hot water, but I don't think that matters too much. And then oh, wait a minute. What is this? Okay. And then I'll clip it there. Okay, and then the wastewater. We'll send to join all the rest of it. Actually, cancel that. And I'm going to cancel it because this will consume the same amount of water that it produces. So we could actually take water out of here. And then send the dirty water back in. Because the carbon skimmer gives out the same amount of polluted water as it takes in clean, so it won't actually consume any water. It'll just change it from clean water to dirty water. So we can just recycle it in an endless loop. Okay, so it'll take a little while for that pipe to fill up, but eventually it'll be able to run nonstop. Okay, so I think we're good here. Let's see how we're doing on the hydrogen front. Still backed up. Although as long as this pipe doesn't back up, then I suppose we'll be using enough of it. Now fairly soon I'm going to start turning all that hydrogen into liquid hydrogen. And at that point we can also add in our hydrogen vents. We've got that one here. I think we have another one. I know there's another one. Yeah, there's another one over here. So I think we're going to have plenty of hydrogen to work with. But I would like to see these generators running a little bit more. Okay, and let's clean up all this junk here. looks like we need more lime. So let's see if we can find some more fossil to dig up. Preferably without boiling off our petroleum. See, here's 400 degree abyssalite. I don't want any oil to get in there. But I can dig this out. So let's extend that all the way down. We can dig that up. We got some over here. There's some here as well. Okay, there's a little bit up here that we haven't dug up yet. Okay, and there's some over here as well. So let's dig all that out. And we got a lot of diamond as well. Okay, and this is the edge of the map, so once we get this fossil dug up, then I'm not sure what else we can do. Okay, there's a little bit. Oh, alright, there's a bunch more over here too. So let's go ahead and start digging all this up. Okay. Yeah, we might have to do some poke shell ranching or something like that. Let's see how we're doing here. And we're backed up again. Alright, well let's queue up some production to burn off some power. I'm sure we could use more iron ore. Okay, so back up to space. Here's what we've got. All these solar panels. I cleared out the material below because actually one of my panels was touching the rock and regolith and it was overheating. So I just decided to clear all this area out underneath, and we can use this area for batteries and the cooling system. I'm going to get rid of this. Don't think we really need that anymore, since I'm doing this in-house. Let's see, I'll clear that away last. Let's get some more telescope action going. Right, so I'm not sure if there's a perfect ratio of batteries to solar panels, but what I've seen in the previous cycle report is that we had close to 800 kilojoules of overproduction on solar panels. A smart battery holds 20 kilojoules. So my thinking is that if we have 40 smart batteries, that'll at least store up all of the overproduction that we have. Is that a good idea? I don't know. Maybe there's a better way to figure this out, but I think that's how I'm going to do it. Okay, so let's start to build a battery box, and then of course we'll need cooling to go along with it. My robo miners, yeah, they're still only at about 60 degrees, so we can continue to run this way for a while before they're in any danger of overheating. They'll overheat at 275. And if a couple of them start to overheat, I'll just close the doors, I'll deconstruct them, and then put another one in there. So we're not in a big rush to get the cooling system put in. Although it won't become maintenance free until we have it. All right, so let's start with the batteries. Let's see, if I make them out of lead, do they have... Overheat temperature is 55. Okay, I think that's going to be cutting it a little close. So I'm not going to make them out of lead. So we can make them out of copper or iron. I don't think they need to be made out of steel. I mean, I'm going to cool them down, so I don't think they'll get that hot. Steel would be what, 275? 125. They'll be at 125 if we make them out of copper. Let's see how much metal ore we have. I actually don't have a lot of copper ore. So yeah, so let's make them out of iron. So I'm going to turn the steel off for the moment. And let's just make a bunch of refined iron so I can build the batteries out of that. Okay, so what I'd like to do is we'll build some insulated tiles. Great, yeah, and we'll make them out of mafic rock, and I'll build them just below my solar panels. Scratch that. Because I'm going to need room for power distribution. So let's see if we leave 4 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's see if I'll have enough room if I build them here. Okay, so we put the tiles there, and then all along the top, I'm going to have transformers. Those take 2 tiles each. And then we'll have mesh tiles below that. And then below there, we'll have the batteries. Which we're going to make out of iron. Okay, so if I have 40 of those, I might have to break through this abyssalite. I don't want to have, 40 all going across in one row is going to be crazy, so I think we'll do 2 rows of 20. Oh, maybe I won't, because the abyssalite is insulated as well. So I can just build on top of the abyssalite at the bottom. That should be fine. Okay, so if I do 20 of these, that's going to be 40 tiles across. So 20 across this way would be right to here. That's including that first battery, right? And then 20 across this way would be out that far. Okay, so this is going to be a big battery box. And then we do need insulated tiles anywhere we don't have abyssalite. And then we'll have to sweep all this crap up. Okay, so this will be a start. And then I'll fill this room with hydrogen. We'll run our cooling loop through it to keep it cooled down. And then we should be in good shape. Oh, actually, oh yeah, that is obsidian. Good. And these are mafic rock. Okay. Yeah, so the shovels won't be able to get in if I make this out of obsidian. Alright, so the time-consuming part is going to be sweeping away all that junk. Or maybe instead of doing that, if I dig down 2 more tiles... Yeah, you know what, let's just dig down 2 more tiles. We'll let it all fall down. Yeah, let's dig all this out, actually. And then I'll just cover this with insulated tiles to contain the critters. And that way all the junk will just fall down. I'll still be able to get to it by walking across. Just checking to see how much obsidian I have, and it's pretty much an unlimited supply. Okay, well, we're slowly building up the iron, so let's start throwing in some batteries here. Whoops. Oh, and we're going to need drywall in there. Let's see. I'll make that out of mafic rock as well, since this is going to be filled with gas. We need to make sure that we've got backing to prevent it from escaping. It won't get out through mesh tiles, so we don't need to worry about that. Yeah, and then 2 more down here. Alright, while that's building, let's go check on our hydrogen situation. We're still not using enough of it, are we? What else can I do to burn up some power? I could always just delete one of these tanks. But then that's going to set a bunch of hydrogen everywhere. What else can I do? Well, I could disconnect the solar panels from the grid for a while. Let's try that. Good time to do it too while the doors are closed. You got to be careful while you're doing this because it'll switch over to a different material if you run out while you're building these things. So I just have to make sure I don't end up with any lead batteries in there. Okay, and now I can delete these. Prioritize them like that so that the furthest one gets deleted first. Okay, now let's see how our hydrogen generators are doing. Still not doing anything. Alright, well, congratulations, we have a very power efficient base. Normally that's a good thing. Okay, now another thing that we could do is we could start to run output pipes up top. That'll empty out some of the Geez, I've got a lot of granite. Let's use granite for this. Because I'm going to need hydrogen up top to fill that room, among other things. So we can start running the pipe up there. Dope. Let's see, which side do I want to be on? There. Okay, we're making progress. Got the first row of batteries in. Start on the second one. And we can start connecting all those up with heavy watt wire. Guess I should use iron for that too. And I'm not going to automate these, but I think I'm going to hook up automation wire just so that we don't have to look at those red lights. For that, I think I will use lead. Right, because lead automation wire, it doesn't overheat, and the melting point is higher than the overheat temperature of everything else. So we can use lead for that. So I'm just gonna, I'll just connect them all, but I'm not gonna actually connect these to the solar panels or anything. Which I don't think you can, actually. Okay, and I'm gonna prioritize this build over that ventilation pipe. Alright, and now I've got an oxygen pipe and a hydrogen pipe coming up here, which we can use later for liquid fuel, so that's good. Of course, when we do that, I'll replace the oxygen coming from here with something more more voluminous. Alright, and let's hurry up our iron production. I think I'm going to put a priority 6 on these refineries. I actually feel pretty good about how work is getting done without me having to put high priorities on every building. I think if you have these priorities set right, then you shouldn't have to worry too much about the others. Now we could excuse me, I don't have anybody who has very high priority on operating. I think that would be something good for our astronauts, since they're not really doing much else when they're not in the spaceship. I'll set those to high priority as operators. Okay, and let's see what we got. Ooh, lime. Thank you. That is awesome. I think I get 5 kilograms for every 100 kilograms of fossil, so that 150 kilograms of lime is pretty huge. And the sour gas is starting to make its way up into the rest of the base. I guess that's okay. CO2 pressure is actually pretty low down here. Oh, we need to dig that out so they can get up there. So the idea is that we have all these transformers, or I'm sorry, all these batteries. They'll connect to a few transformers. And then we can use those transformers to send, you know, lower power, essentially conductive wire lines to wherever we need them. And then I'll be able to get rid of these two down here. And we'll be able to connect a lot more power. Alright, now how many transformers do we want? That's the question. Where was the middle? Right here. Whoops, that's lead. Yeah, let's be careful here. Yeah, we better make these out of iron as well. And I would say we should have at least 6. Well, let's do 8. That way I can have 4 power lines going in this direction and 4 power lines going in that direction. Okay, and for conductive wire, yeah, I think down there I can use lead conductive wire. And then, at least coming out of the box. Oh, no, that's not going to work. Hang on. I need bridges. Let me try this again. Conductive wire bridge. 1 rotation is fine. Okay, yeah, and then we'll put those here. And we'll connect those like that. And then we can connect to them from up here. And then we'll have the heavy watt wire running down that way. Just need one more of those. There. And then we'll put a gas vent. It'll be for the hydrogen to come in. And I'm just using a regular one so that it'll overpressurize at around 2,000 grams. That should be more than enough. And then we'll just have to run our coolant line through here. Yeah, and actually, let's deconstruct that one. And I'll put a heavy watt joint plate there. Oh, and here as well. Let's make that a 7. And that way I only need to have a single heavy watt joint plate coming in. But actually I'll hold off on that until I'm ready to seal it up. Why can't I? Oh. All right. Well, what are you going to do now? The last time I built something like this, I made the mistake of hooking it up before I had my cooling loop in place, and I spent a long time repairing and replacing stuff that overheated, so I'm not going to get any wires anywhere close to this until I have the cooling set up. Hey, we're actually starting to use up some hydrogen. That's nice. All I had to do was nerf my free power generation. Let's see how our ranches are doing. We're down to 1 there. We're down to 2, 5, and 4. Okay, and we have some meat there. Yeah, so one thing I'm going to have to do is make sure that we're storing meat. Okay, we are. So we just need somebody to... Oh, you know what? I should probably just put a conveyor in there. Yeah, let's deconstruct that robo miner, and I'll put it in auto sweeper to pick up meat and drop it in here where the eggs used to go. This insulated on the tile, or this insulated tile on the bottom, I probably should have made out of obsidian. Because if the voles eat something, then they could climb up onto that, and they can burrow into my mafic rock tile. So I'm going to deconstruct that. I'll rebuild that out of obsidian tile. Okay, I think this is pretty much done. Okay, I still need that, and then I need the floor, and then I need to do the cooling loop. And then I think we'll be all set. Okay, I'm going to hook this back up again. At least that way we'll be able to keep the telescope going. Okay, so I'll get this finished, and then in the next episode we'll build the cooling system. And at that point we should be pretty much done. Once we have the cooling system, we'll be able to put our little drops of petroleum over here on these guys, which, by the way, are going to need some additional ladders, because we will need to be able to get up there from time to time. There. All right, cool. Well, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Appreciate it as always. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.